think there's a lot of confusion about what the unemployment rate is. So the unemployment rate is really looking at those folks that are actively seeking work, okay? And so you're essentially only counted as unemployed if you are actively searching for work and have been searching for work really within a 6-month time frame. And so what's really happened, I think probably the most discouraging thing for labor market economists that they've seen over the past 6 to 9 months is that our labor force is contracting at a rapid rate, which means that there are people that were in the workforce possibly in 2006 that are literally nowhere to be found. Those folks are not counted in the unemployment rate. And just to kind of give you a sense, our labor force nationally has shrunk by about 3 to 4 million over the past 6 months. So about every month, there's about 500,000 folks that literally are dropping off the radar. Whether those folks are going back to school, whether those folks have, just crawled up into a corner and given up, we don't know. But what's really disturbing is that obviously our population is growing rapidly, but our labor force is shrinking. So we talk about that. So the other piece is those folks that are collecting benefits. Those folks that are collecting benefits, we know essentially that those folks are actively seeking work because that's essentially what the rules state for nearly all the states. However, when their benefits exhaust, there's not necessarily, they could still be actively seeking work, right? But they could not be. They could, once they get off their benefits, they could join those ranks of the discouraged workers, okay? And I also think that when we hear about continuing unemployment claims, it is important to understand that there are many people exhausting their unemployment benefits on a regular basis. And so when we see that maybe the continuing jobless claims went down, that's not necessarily an indication that things are getting better. It could just be that those folks essentially ran out. And as we have seen, there are folks that have been unemployed. I mean, right now we're facing the largest share of what's called the long-term unemployed. So if you take the entire share of the unemployed, the entire group of the unemployed, about over 40% of them have been unemployed for longer than 6 months, which is the highest percentage since they began keeping records on this since 1948. So it really kind of illustrates the tremendous strain that this is placing on a lot of families because they've essentially probably depleted a lot of their savings. And so it is important to understand that the unemployment rate is one indicator. There's also the underemployment rate, which is somewhere about twice the level of unemployment rate. So that includes people that are working part-time. They don't want to work part-time. They've gotten their hours cut. And so that's another indicator of what you look at. And so in Texas, about 1 out of every 6 folks are underemployed. So it kind of gives you a sense of kind of the condition of the labor market.